age. But Dirk, now it's time for the Sevens action on the field.
Like you said, the Goshawks top their pool. This is the big encounter. The winner of this game will probably finish today at the top of the pile in that group. It's not all the end if you don't win, but you'll want the ascendancy going into day two, the business end of the competition. Uganda probably a little bit wanting in their opening game, where they only just beat the Spartans. That is the lineup for the Goshawks. Aidan Burnett, young kid, fresh out of school. Very exciting though, and some new names as well. Gardner Necharonga, he's been around for a while, and lots of old names as well. Lucky Satoli played a lot of sevens rugby last year, so some good names in that Goshawks lineup.
Another name to pick up there is Brendan Mandivenga, who was in the UK playing quite a bit of rugby, now moved to Durban Collegians. It will be definitely good to see him in the 15 setup. He's a very good player indeed.
Michael Okarach would be the name that sticks out for you in the Ugandan lineup. So not their total full side, as there are a couple missing. It'll make the tournament a little bit more tough for them. But the ones that we're not too aware of as players have shown their skill set as well in the early encounters of day one. And we look forward to more of that action. And straight away, the Goshawks running at Uganda, almost going the wrong way. Now a chance for the Goshawks to really put some pressure on this Ugandan defence. Good carry from Godwin Mogenje.
Referee Precious Pazani not happy with the action from the Ugandans there, not allowing the Zimbabwean player to play the ball. Looks like there's an intervention going to be made here by the assistant referee coming in to talk to our referee here, Precious Pazani. He's picked up something, Dirk.
Yeah, I don't know if we saw anything with our eagle eyes here in the commentary box. But definitely got to be something serious if we've got to stop the game for the AR and the referee to have a chat. Just while they decide what's going on, one area that we've been talking about, Sam, is the physicality of the game. Maybe not so much in your day, as much as you're a bit of a unit yourself. There's some seriously big units in these Zimbabwe teams.
You know, Dirk, I'm just grateful that we're here in this commentary box and not down on that field below, because some of those tackles and the confrontations have been big, bad boshes, and you hear the sound when the guys hit each other. Thanks, but no thanks for me, Dirk.
Well, also the problem is when you get a little bit older, it's a bit more painful. I can tell you that we once had a crew race in Tunisia, and our director came last. I think he pulled a hamstring to be carry off. So when you do get older, your mind still thinks you're 18, but the body definitely not.
Sure, it was a hamstring, not a fat.
Well, I think you're right. Now a chance for the Goshawks. They were warned, were Uganda. Quick tap, and definitely not 10 there. The referee's hand is out, or the AR's hand is out. That's a great little step. Still going into the 22 now, the Goshawks. They need to make this count and put pressure on Uganda. Gardner Necharonga. That's a big hit from Uganda. It did take two men to bring him down. Now there's a loose ball, and unfortunately the handling skills not great. It's end-to-end stuff here at Victoria Falls Primary School. Lacking numbers though are Zimbabwe. He'll come back into the traffic. That's a great little offload. Now they definitely have all the numbers they need. Maybe not the best decision to look on the inside. That's lost by the Goshawks.
Yeah, there's some great play by Kudechiwanze. He stepped back in field looking for his support players. Gardner Necharonga, one of the veteran players, ably supporting him there. He had men on the outside, and then he decided to step by himself. Don't know why he didn't pass off that ball. Looked like it was a good opportunity for Zimbabwe to score, resulting in a ruck. And now we have a turnover, and the Ugandans can relieve some of that pressure that Zimbabwe Goshawks have been putting them under.
Yeah, a perfect opportunity. I think it was a three-man overlap on the near side, and deciding to go to the inside and resulting in a penalty. So Uganda not totally clearing their lines, taking play between their own 22 and the halfway line. I just got to hold their defence, the Goshawks. It's well done by Uganda in the line out, and the challenge was good from Zimbabwe, and that's a great counteract, putting pressure on the Ugandans. And ideally, you'd love to suck in a few more players. That's some great stepping. Michael Okarach on the inside. Offload is good, and he should have enough pace to go all the way. And what a disaster for Zimbabwe. A 14-point swing potentially that should have resulted in a try to Zimbabwe a couple of minutes later. And it's Uganda under the posts courtesy of their captain Okarach.
Yeah, Okarach taking over the captaincy and leading by example with a nice, lovely try underneath the post. That was a result of 2 missed tackles, Dirk. At this level of the game, you shouldn't be missing your tackles. The game was evenly balanced and evenly matched, but those 2 tackles out wide that were missed by the Zimbabwe Goshawks resulted in that opportunity. And here we can see it again. There was 2 men there with a nice handoff waiting. The sweeper came in, was committed to a man, and Okarach running it under the sticks. Gardner Nichironga not able to catch him there.
Yeah, sad for Zimbabwe. Maybe just a bit of technique, going a little bit too high on those tackles and able to brush them off. We decide to go with a deep kick and gives the Goshawks an opportunity to run back at them. No pressure on the charge down. And there's a mistake again. That's a really good tackle. Looks like Gardner Nichironga again. He's really getting stuck in.
Case of butterfingers there by Okarach there, but what's impressed me today is the rucking. The Ugandans are really giving it their all when it comes to the breakdowns there, not making it an obvious win for the Goshawks when it comes to contesting the ball there on the ground. They're definitely going out to contest the ball as much as they can with those rucks, and that was an opportunity given by contestation of a ruck there.
Rebuilding now the Goshawks. Here's that contestation you spoke about again, Zam. So just making a few little mistakes, the Goshawks. Support not really there, and Uganda capitalizing on that, earning the penalty and a perfect opportunity to maybe double that lead. Really throwing their bodies around the Zimbabweans, but there's a massive overlap. And, well, is he held up? The referee's given the try. No, offsides.
It looks like another intervention by the AR there. I think he might be saying the fact that there was a high tackle there. We're going to see what Precious Bazani is going to rule. I've been very impressed by her control of the game, although it might look like there was a little bit of a knock on that might have been missed. But otherwise, she's one of our foremost female rugby referees in Zimbabwe, and that should be heading to the under-20 tournament in Namibia. She's heading towards the middle of the post, Dirk. It looks like it might be a penalty try here.
Well, we won't know what the reason is, and there's a yellow card as well. So obviously something done to stop that try. Reminder on penalty tries, no conversion. So Zimbabwe will go into the half. The Goshawks 14 points to 0 down.
It looks like that penalty try was given for a high tackle. She ruled, or the AR gave the input, and the referee ruled that but for the interaction made by the Zimbabwean player or the Zimbabwe Goshawks player, the Ugandan player would have scored the try. So that is a yellow card and a penalty try. We've seen that Lucky Stole has just come and rejoined the team for the team talk.
Guys, just confirm that score's 14-0, not 12-0. There was a conflict, no conversion on the penalty try, so they get 7. Yeah. Okay, got it. They definitely look a different side, the Ugandans, since their opening game where they were pushed right to the end. Having said that, I think the chat within the Goshawks team, Zam, would be more the fact that they've probably let themselves down.
Indeed, Coach, there, Tangai Namadira, we can see him with the cap there. He's laying down the law, surely disappointed by some of the play that has resulted in tries being scored by the Ugandans, giving the Ugandan an opportunity. The Zimbabweans were in the ascendancy at the beginning of the game. As you said earlier on, they almost scored a try. They were ended up with the Ugandans scoring a try on the other side of the field. Definitely impressed by Uganda. They looked a little bit lethargic in their game against the Spartans from Botswana, which they won 24-17. Definitely turned up the gas, and they're ready to come and play sevens rugby today.
Well, maybe a proud Zimbabwe supporter. I think they can still come back. There's the stat. So Ugandans been forced to make more tackles, but they've definitely turned it on here. 2 penalties apiece and 2 visits to the opposition's 22. Unfortunately for the Goshawks, their 2 have yielded absolutely nothing. On the other hand, Uganda, a try from the captain Michael Okarach, and then a penalty try to finish the first half. So a little bit of work here for the Goshawks to do, but I have no doubt at half time they still feel that they got an opportunity here.
Absolutely, another 7 minutes to play. The game was evenly balanced, just showing that Goshawks have the capacity and ability to play rugby. Like you said, a penalty try, a bit unlucky, and a well-worked try by Okarach from Uganda.
Looks like there was a little bit of wind on that occasion, so it's not a good start to the second half for the Goshawks. As Ugandans, no rush at all. They want to save some energy. But 14 points to 0 that they lead this game. There's a perfect opportunity here for them to extend that options both sides. Good quick ball for the back line, and now I have the captain who will switch. He's a big man, just barging off the defenders. Now it's a foot race. Well chased down by the Goshawks, but they're still under pressure. There's numbers on the far side. Oh, and there's the knock-on. There's the mistake. Good defense from the Goshawks.
Good defense, but poor decision-making by the Ugandans there. The opportunity was on wide. Defender, the attacking player, Ayera Weza, deciding to cut infield instead of passing out the ball to the right-hand side of the field where he had 2 players in support, and then the resulting cut inside had a knock-on there, and it's a turnover possession to the Zimbabwe Goshawks in their own 22.
So Zimbabwe put into the scrum, but they within their own 22. It's forced the kick. Who's got the energy to chase that? Definitely not any Zimbabweans. But it's almost run the full length of the field, and Uganda will need to build again. They're short of numbers themselves. And we'll call it a torpedo. Well, it's the best one I've ever seen, but found touch nevertheless.
A net result for the Zimbabwe Goshawks. We haven't seen a lot of kicking today, a lot of ball being played through the hands, and there was one attacking kick. Not much pressure, as you said, put on, but the Ugandans were short of people, and when the Zimbabwe Goshawks line came up, pressed them and forced them to make that kick into touch.
The tap back is weak from Zimbabwe, but the gap was closed in the line out, so reprieve for the Goshawks. Another opportunity with a free kick to try and pull something back in this game. There's Necharonga. He's such a strong man, and he's going to go all the way. That's exactly what the Goshawks needed, and they're on the board courtesy of Gardner Necharonga. He's been around for many years. It's not his first rugby game, and just showing his ability, his strength. He's a really good rugby player.
Albi was a very good player for the Zimbabwe Cheetahs, also represented the Zimbabwe Sables, played his rugby in Germany there. We see Mandivenga passing the ball back into him. Gardner Nechironga stepping inside with the fen, beating the two defenders and scoring under the sticks to give Zimbabwe 7 points as they trail Uganda 7-14, the Zimbabwe Goshawks.
That's a better kickoff and very well taken by Uganda. A little bit short on numbers on the near side, the Goshawks. Okarach again, he's put in some good runs and really leading by example. Numbers again on the far side. They're going to have to scramble, the Goshawks. And there's that switch again that we spoke about. Probably not the best idea from Uganda.
Precious Bazani, the referee there, saying that they have to roll away. The tackler's not rolling away, not giving the attacking player the opportunity to play the ball.
There's the chance that they wanted, Uganda, and the Zimbabweans somehow keep scrambling, but on this occasion they're not going to stop the try for Uganda. They're going to come back with their own potential 7 points, and that will really bother the Goshawks. They'd come back with a great little bit of work from Gardner Nechironga, and they've just let it slip with a couple of mistakes.
That conversion is good. As you said, the Zimbabwe Goshawks thought that they made their way back into the game now, but good urgency by Uganda, contesting the breakdown there, getting the ball out quickly, forcing that Goshawks defense to scramble. Unfortunately for them, not able to scramble quick enough, and a nice try scored there.
Ringing a couple of changes, the Zimbabwe team, the Goshawks, so some fresh legs. We noticed the lethargic chasing of the ball on the big kick. Not releasing there, but the referee's called play on. Well, I'm not so sure if that was the best call.
Saw Aidan Burnett, who's just come onto the park today, signaling to the referee and hoping that the ball would come the Zimbabwean way. As you said, these Ugandans are contesting the breakdown. They're not letting any ball go away. They want that ball. They want to play rugby today.
Well, you say that the Ugandans contesting, the biggest glaring obvious part of this is the lack of Zimbabwe's commitment to the ball.
Looks like an incident of overcommitment there and going offside.
Still going Uganda. Great little grubber, but it's got too much power on it. And it was looking like it was going to work really well, but just running over the touchline.
Looks like that Goshawks defensive pattern has broken down. They're not holding their line. The Ugandans are finding opportunities, stepping in, stepping out, and that was a nice little grubber kick there. It's beaten by the line, but it was definitely on for Uganda there.
Well, it's all going wrong here for the local team. You sort of, the question being, we spoke at the start of the game about the size of some of these Zimbabweans, but to be honest, it looks like they're lacking a little bit of fitness, just making silly little mistakes.
Turk, when you've got the opportunity to play, you've got the ball in hand, you've got to use it. If you don't use it, you're definitely going to get beaten in the game. And unfortunately, the Goshawks haven't been able to hold on to the ball when they've been given that opportunity.
Well, the final hooter has gone, so this should be the final play. And Uganda probably want to finish with one last say in this game. It'll take them to the top of their pool. The Goshawks will suffer their first defeat. And finally, something goes the way of the Goshawks.
Hooter's gone, but there's still a lot of rugby to play, and Gardner Nechironga gets us going again.
That's better from the Goshawks. I need to run at these Ugandans. I have allowed them to really disturb their play. Gardner Nechironga again with ball in hand. And showing his strength, looking for the support and sort of speculative offload has handed the ball back to Uganda.
Penalty there, offside. There was a knock on, and the player in front of the other Ugandan player caught the ball, which resulted in a penalty for being offside, giving Zimbabwe Goshawks another opportunity.
It's a good tackle from Uganda, and referee saying not releasing. It's the captain, Michael Okarach, and he's going to get a card for his dealings. It's not really going to matter as the game is done.
I think that yellow card there was a combination of the offence there coupled with
there might be another one as well, another card. There's a quick tap, and he's going to get in for the consolation. Mandivenga, he will score the last try of this game. The Goshawks might have the last say, but Uganda will win in the end reasonably comfortably. It's 21 points to 12 with a conversion to come. The conversion is good. So 21 points to 14, and maybe just the fitness finding the Goshawks wanting, Zam.
Yeah, and I think it's also a case of a few young players. We've seen the likes of Aiden Burnett on that side there. We've just seen Brendan Mandivenga, who was playing in the UK and made his way back to Southern Africa now at Durban Collegians. They're young guys, Dirk. They're having an opportunity to play sevens. It's good for the Zimbabwean growth. Ugandans, a well-established team, albeit they are missing some of their key players. But it was a very entertaining game. Well done to both sides.
So our score here in Victoria Falls Primary School, it's Uganda 21, Goshawks 14.